Morning Goobers, I'm Eric Reyes and today we have another Megayap. I said I would do these once every 4 months, I'm pretty sure, but I had 2 core sets to review, and after doing the whole collection for those decks, I have realized that there's a lot of stuff to talk about, so waiting 1 more month for more releases would probably not be the best idea. Especially because my schedule is every time so freaking whack. It's like 2 videos a month, maybe theoretically. So, yeah, good job, me. Anyways, I've been writing the decor guide, which will hopefully come at the end of this year, as I said like 1 trillion times already. And also, I did the FTK video a couple of weeks ago, but right now I have just nothing to work on outside of the decor guide, and I just don't feel like working on big stuff. But I still do have some very small things to talk about, some important findings, I guess you could call them, and of course 2 core sets and some more fancy stuff to review for Earthbound purposes. So I thought this is probably the best video to leave you people on whilst I do some other fancy stuff. Hopefully I find something to actually record by the end of the 2 weeks I'm going to China. Anyways, I wanted to start this Megayap by talking about the previous one and talking just about some specific decks that I really care about, and going through if they were powerful enough. They were powerful enough as I said they would be, if they were more powerful than initially thought, or if they actually plummeted because they suck. Starting with just kind of in order of main deck then extra deck, we have Revolution Synchron alongside J-Dragon-Mech. I initially thought this was gonna be the perfect replacement for Croco Dragon. We'll talk about the actual perfect replacement later on, but for now, this is not it. This is nothing. The brick is not bad, but it's not good. And also, like, Croco Dragon's benefit is not just good level 7 payoff. It has a lot of utility. It is removal. It is draw power, which actually matters a lot for some of the builds I've done. Like, I've genuinely have used Croco Dragon to draw 3 cards in my combo to get 10 traps online, which feels incredible, and it is actually really powerful. And on top of that, J-Dragon-Mech has 0 utility outside of turn 1 setups. If you already used all your level 10s, you're done. If you're using it as a summon off of, say, B2B, you're done. This card is just nowhere near good enough, unless you're playing like exactly something that already plays Revolution Synchron or doesn't mind playing it, like for example Runic or Tearlaments. But outside of those, it's just not it, man. What is it though is B2B. This card, I thought it was decent. It was pretty nice. It is nice level 10 payoff synchro. The problem is I forgot to account that this card is broken. That's all I have to say, genuinely. Like, it is a floodgate, it is a setup tool, it is grind game, it does your dishes and your taxes as well. I just cannot play without this card, I swear. This card is just so powerful. It is super easy to summon off of stuff like a Stardust, which I'll talk about more later. And the Crimson King just grabbing Vision Resonator. It is so free and so beyond stupid powerful. I just cannot believe it, man. This card is so good at just doing everything. I'm speechless. Anyways, here's the Storbrim. This card is nowhere near as good as I initially thought. This is not Juraishin. Juraishin is the much better card because, well, you don't need an empty board to actually use it. And while sure, this is decent going second, you're not summoning level 11s going second most of the time. So yeah, I really wouldn't recommend the Storbeam in any variant, frankly, unlike J-Dragon-Mech. Just meh. Anyways, back to the main deck, actually. That's where I was supposed to go. Curtain. I thought about it. I think the, like, playing Dark Magician I think like playing Dark Magician or not both of them. Don't play both of them. And Dark Magician Girl, or Dark Magician Girl, dang it. Or Dark Magician Girl can be really powerful as just a standalone extender. Outside of Azamina or just alongside Azamina, you can still make stuff with Gaze of Timaeus and still have one of these two dweebs to be used for harmonic synchrofusion, which is really strong. Outside of that, I don't have much else to say about this. It's practically the same card. It enables you to go into full Earthbound combo if you have Dima to search it. Grab, summon Murcielago, summon a tuner, which by the way, Knights and Sorcerer, this is the much better card over Falco. Falco, sure it is a body, but it isn't useful as a body, so you shouldn't play it. Whilst the Knight and Sorcerer is specific, but it has utility with B2B. Summoning it off of B2B lets you remove some of your opponent's stuff, and while sure this won't come up all the time, it's better than not having the option and having Falco that's just garbage. Like, yeah, if both the options are kind of meh, and you might sync them off directly for something else, synchro them off, you might as well just play the better one that has slightly more utility, you know? Regardless of that, I only thought that Curtain was gonna be good for this scenario, but no, it is a pretty nice extender as well. I still think that alongside Pharaoh's Servant as just a good card you can summon off of, you can search off of Dmod and whatever, I honestly don't think this card is good enough to be just played alongside Dmod or something. I think this card is much better if you have it alongside, say, Magician's Souls. This card can set up Gaze itself, which is not too bad, but I don't play Gaze anymore these days because Nibiru is just not prevalent enough, and I have more than enough ways to do layer disruptions. But alongside Souls, if you want a Souls, you just Souls. If you don't want Souls, you mill this guy and then summon him. This isn't relevant if you play these two, but it's whatever. There's so much customization with the mod package. I frankly now realized I haven't said anything coherent in the past couple of minutes, but like you play these if you want to play free Curtain. You play these alongside each other. This card is decent with Gaze, but Gaze can be annoying to play because Dragoon is a janky card. This card enables you to summon Sorcerer, which enables you to go Murcielago plus Sorcerer into the Crimson King for Call, for Keeper and whatever. That's the gist of the DMod package. It should be pretty obvious for the people who have stuck around for this long with my channel, but if you don't know, I mean, you should know DMod package. Everyone is playing it these days. It's 80 bucks on Card Market, like, I cannot believe it. I bought it at like 60 bucks, but at the same time I bought a Gaze for 60, and now it's at what, 30 bucks or something. Regardless of that, the mod package just got a major upgrade with magnificent monsters coming in literally a month, which is pretty cool. Outside of that, Dominant Spark. I love this card. I initially thought it wasn't gonna be good enough because, well, it turns off Exile Stardust, Croco Dragon, and Juraishin. Juraishin doesn't matter, it's whatever. Croco Dragon matters a lot, and I thought Exile Stardust would be the nail in the coffin for Spark, but in reality, like, Exile Stardust can just be replaced by Ecclesia of the Dark Dragon as your level 8 Synchro. I'll talk about it more in detail if you've watched my a couple of my advanced deck profiles. You would know that Ecclesia of the Dark Dragon has been so powerful as just a generic synchro. It's really nice. It's really nice. There isn't much else to say about it. Like, I don't know. Like, that's about it. The Spark is just incredible with that in mind, and there isn't much else to say. The only thing I have to say actually is Dominus Impulse is still not worth it. I thought Spark was kind of weird because, well, it locks you out of a bunch of fancy stuff, and that might be bad, but Spark is good enough where it warrants not having a Croco Dragon. Seriously, after having revamped my list with Ecclesia of the Dark Dragon, Genuinely, the only problem with Spark is Croco Dragon. Even then, it's mostly fine enough because Spark is that good. Impulse though, I just cannot justify. There aren't enough good level 6 and 7 Dark Synchros you could play, or even Water and then Fire you could play to justify Dominus Impulse, unless you really add up the extra deck slots. Like if you play Gremlin, Kraken, and Q-Belt, if you have the space for it, good for you, but I don't. I'm playing the full power azamina variant with all the fancy stuff that makes Earthbound actually worthwhile as an engine and actually worth searching and stuff. It's just not it, man. I don't think Impulse is good enough to be played in Earthbound still. Even with all the bridges you have, even with all the fancy good stuff, Impulse is a strong card. I really wish I could play it, but just not good enough for the locks. That's about it. What is good enough though is Jesus Peace Golem is what I'm gonna be calling him, because he's the savior of Earthbound. Initially I thought, this card is cool, this card is fine, it's pretty decent as a searchable target for Gaia. This card changes everything. This card changed how I think of building and playing and comboing off of Earthbound. This card is grind game, it's comboing, it's utility, he's everything. He's kind of mid to draw, frankly, and he is a one-off, but he just smooths out all of your decks, all of your combos so freaking well. I just couldn't play Earthbound without him. If he was called Earthbound Peace Golem, that would be the nail, not the nail in the coffee, the cherry on the cake. Like, this card is just so nice. I was like, it's alright. It saves me a couple of slots for Crimson Gaia, and not a couple of slots. It saves me a little bit when I want to play Crimson Gaia and want to use it. This card is just so good. There isn't much else to say. It is incredible, and I'm very happy about it. He's still a one-off, and frankly, admittedly, just a brick. But he is so useful. I think that's about it for the stuff I actually want to talk about here. Alright, let's get into the actual Megayap 4. Let's start by talking about the fancy stuff I mentioned earlier, with Ecclesia of the Dark Dragon and all the fancy stuff you run with it. Of course, this is a really nice excuse to play Fallen the Virtuous, which is what I did. What I did every single opportunity I got. Like, essentially, the only investment you have for Fallen the Virtuous, if you play Ecclesia of the Dark Dragon already as a combo piece, is just gonna be Albion. It is still mandatory, though I wouldn't cut it. Even if Ecclesia, I mean, you could just not have the grind game aspect of Fallen the Virtuous. No, you have to, honestly. Maybe, if I try it out. Probably, but regardless of that, I've mentioned Ecclesia of the Dark I've mentioned Ecclesia of the Dark Dragon a couple of times already, and yeah, this card is incredible. I just want to mention it in a more digestible video, you know. You can summon White Albas into Ecclesia to go into any level 8, and this means that the Ecclesia of the Dark Dragon will come back and be really useful as either bait, so that your opponent discards one more of a droplet, for example, or if you use it and they fear, say, Cartesia maybe, they can use Fallen the Virtuous on this card. And also, this card can be used for B2B as just a free material for Chaos Angel. It is just so freaking powerful. It is just unbelievable. And, speaking of powerful cards, these two are really nice. I've said several times, and I think, I've never made a video on Fallen the White Dragon before, never even talked about him until the recent past couple of months, because I was like, when he was released, he was announced, I was like, man, this card is, okay, I guess. Like, you need extra deck slots, you need a brick in the form of Ecclesia. And he doesn't extend your Earthbound combos because of his lock. Surely he's not good enough. He is more than good enough. At least as a one-off. I wouldn't recommend it as a free-off. As a one-off, he's fine to draw. Because like after your Earthbound combos get disrupted, you can still summon him, get your Albion for free, and then summon a level 8 synchro, like a Joker Berserker, like a Lord Omega to handtrap your opponent, which is extremely lovely and extremely fun. But regardless, this card isn't as bad as I thought. I wouldn't recommend playing more, because going second, if you have this guy, you can't really push too much through your opponent's disruptions. Like, sure, you can send the Ecclesia and then summon the Juka Berserker, but after that, you don't have branded combos. You hardly can even make a level 8 without bridging into something like, say, a Moresilago, a Grimlina, a Dragster, well, it's basically it, but like the level 8s are strong, but they need to be enabled much more than just summon diabellstar, summon Keeper, and pray it works. Yeah. But speaking of going second, Ecclesia is pretty nice going second as just a pressure. Albeit she's meh, she's just a 1-for-1 even, and if your opponent doesn't fall for it, she's not that good. Like, they can just pop the Draco Berserker you summon off of her, and then you lose from there. Yay! But overall, these cards are really freaking powerful. Ecclesia can also add herself back to be discarded off a Croco Dragon, which is particularly nice. There isn't much else to say. These are good cards. Everyone knows these. And I forgot to mention this earlier. Originally, I didn't want to play Ecclesia the Dark Dragon as a level 8 generic, because the only option I tunnel visioned into was Blazing Cartesia, which sure has some fancy targets right now, but just not good enough for the extra commitment. And well, after these two, being able to summon the Crimson King, which, by the way, enables your Raciela combos to go into the Crimson King. You just summon Raciela, add Azamina Z, after, of course, Keeper, Sweeper, and this stuff. Summon Ecclesia, grab your Azamina cards, whatever. Use Ecclesia to summon White Albaz and Incredible, and then summon Crimson King. Every single time you want to make a level 8, you can first make Ecclesia to get more value off of herself, and Incredible. It's just really nice bonus. And this lets you summon the Crimson King, which lets you enable in your 1-card combos, B2B, and Griffin if you want, and some additional combos. It just does so much! I don't know what else to say. Like, that's about it for the Ecclesia Albaz branded, whatever you want to call it, package. Speaking of utility synchros, oh yeah, before that, I want to mention fancy FTKs. If you are interested in FTKs, please do. Man, these days I just cannot speak. These 2 days, if you want more FTKs, please do let me know, because I like Fury crafting FTKs, but if you people don't care enough, I might just slow down production. Like, I do like FTKs, like Fury crafting them at least, but I only do it like once every couple of months when I have the spark that tells me yes, do FTKs. And I did the document a while ago for Genesys a couple of weeks ago, and I'm still well, not actively, but I'm still slowly advancing on the advanced advanced FTK combo sheet. There we go. I'll do it eventually, but if you people actually care about it, do let me know. I will put more focus on it. Regardless, if you want some Genesys fancy stuff, go check out my last video. Anyways, let's talk about Angeliki. Bastion first. Bastion specifically because, well, he's just a good generic synchro. He's a big boy. He's a side grade to Berserker, I guess. Berserker has much more raw power and is an actual disruption, which does give it a lot of utility. But the Bastion itself is removal, Baku removal, which you don't really have a lot of in Earthbound. You have Croco Dragon, you have Chaos Angel, maybe, But no, Bastion is just the most easy way to have backrow removal, and he's the best out to Angeliki Shortinier. I'll call him that. Angeliki Shorting. Angeliki Shatranya. Angeliki Shatranya. Shortinier. Angeliki Shortinier is ironically outed by Bastion because like Bastion doesn't protect from banishing, so like you can use Bastion to out your opponent's monster protected by Bastion. Banger game design, Konami, good job. The chess matchup is a chess mirror matchup is abysmal. Outside of that, you can access the Angelikis if you want to play them yourself via Null Gamer, getting witness fitness of the ancient to get a free synchro off, and then going to full Angeliki. I honestly wouldn't recommend majority of these spell traps and just the focus on like just making the 2 floodgates, which are really annoying. I typically would say if you're able to go this far and get a floodgate, you've already won, but this is very easy to make. Like, Null Gainer is just a free level 8 synchro. You might as well if you have the deck space. I wouldn't recommend it in most builds, but if you have the space, it's not too bad. Plus, it's a free level 9 or 10 synchro, so like that's half of B2B. Like if you summon a level 2 token and off of fitness, and then use Null Gainer plus that, you can also just summon. You can keep this guy around, I guess, but he's a tuner, which is really annoying. So it is meh. Regardless of whatever fancy stuff, I think Angeliki has a lot of potential here. The back row is fine. Problem can be searched off of Kraken if you want to play in Genesys. It's meh, honestly, because the discard is really rough, frankly. Disturbance is alright. Like, you can discard it off of diabellstar, you can discard it off of Raciela and stuff. I just don't think it's good enough of a reason, like, to play at more than one. Or like even some to even play it at all. E4 Voice is a really nice sideboard card. Yeah, there's not much else to say. You could play it going first. Should you? The problem is you need to play a problem. That is actually the main problem. Like, this card is just really meh. You aren't playing that many spell traps, you know? So like, you play enough to enable Raciela when she's relevant. You don't play enough so that you have both Raciela and problem as problems that need a solution in the form of more spell trap and non-engine. So yeah, I don't think I would recommend most of the Angeliki package, but just these 3 is pretty good. Next, more fancy FTKs. I just want to mention Sorcerer of the Swamp, Kaitoptera, and Poly with Hornsaurus, because it's very funny that Earthbound is actually resorting to an engine that searches field spells, because we have a field spell as searcher in engine. It is very stupid. But this engine is really nice in FTKs because it gets you a Lurk Palace, which is which alongside the body that the Hornsaurus provides is actually a 1-card FTK off a Sorcerer. And you can also search the Archfiend cards. Off the 1-card combo, it doesn't do too much, but you know, it's just free utility. You might as well take it, especially because in Genesys, Archfiend Usurpation got hit to 3 points, which sucks, man. It is kinda justified, so like, it is what it is. On to Super Duper Poly. This card is also used in the FTK to enable some fancy 2-card combos. Pretty decent alongside the Sorcerer package. But the main thing I wanna talk about here is Super Duper Poly might just be the reason I actually make a video on Pure Earthbound again, because I've done a couple of videos when Genesys was first releasing, but that was mainly just hype. I did not figure out you had that many other fancy engines you could play instead of just throwing Immortal Red Nova and super minus polymerizations looking ass, like Earthbound Fusion and Sinful Spoils of White Forest. But the Super Duper Poly is just much better than those cards, and it might actually make me want to consider playing, or at least giving you people a pure Earthbound deck profile, because that's what a lot of people actually want, because majority of my audience, or at least majority of the people I talk to on Discord, are more casual focused. They want more fun variants, and whilst I really love the competitive aspect of trying to push a really bad deck to its limits, I can also understand that, well, this is an anime deck. This is a very gimmicky, very silly deck, and so people would want the purest form just to have fun with their friends. And I think it is the right move to just make a very fancy video on Pure Earthbound, giving you a lot of options, a lot of cool stuff. Right now, though, I think I should just plan the video out first. Yeah, I think this is gonna be the video I do once I come back from China. Yeah, there's so many fancy things you can do, even with Pure Earthbound, even with the most basic form of it, that I don't know. I don't have much else to say, but like Super Duper Poly has remade me interested in bringing this variant to the TCG and even Genesys. It's not dead. The people still wanna play it. The problem is I never had a consistent list to give to people. It is just half thrown together. So making a proper detailed video on Pure Earthbound might be pretty cool. That's it. I don't script mega yaps. I just go in circles. Anyways, out of the circle, let's talk about Chaos Earthbound. I made a video a couple of months ago. I still think this variant is decent, but not the best. The main problem is, for now it's perfectly fine. It is brutally powerful once we get the support in Magnificent Monsters with a curtain and all. The problem is really just bricks, which means you need to play 60 card, which means that your non-engine and your sideboard tools are kinda iffy to draw. And Toons. Toons are releasing in November, which is my worst nightmare, because I wanted to play YCS Bologna without these stupid dipshits. Her just killing me. I hate Toons with all my soul. And whilst playing against Sylvia, for the people that don't know, that's my friend that's really good at the game. She has a decent chunk of tops, and she really wants me to improve because I am not good enough in the current state I am in, and I need a bunch of training. But whilst we were doing some training, I was testing this. She was playing Toons because she really likes them. I had a more fair matchup than initially thought, but at the same time I just need to draw so many freaking hand-traps to stop her unless I just die. So yeah, playing a 60 pile with hand-traps is just a recipe for disaster in my books. So I will be playing this for as much as I can currently, whilst I don't know, going to regionals and maybe some early Beyond the Brave. I don't remember the release schedule, but maybe some Beyond the Brave events will not have Toons, so hopefully I can actually get some more mileage out of this variant. Speaking of getting mileage out of the cardboard, Paraslav. I played this in Dueling Book initially when like it was announced on stream and I was in class. I got bored, I grabbed my phone and whatever, and I look at this card. I go, this card sucks. This is neutral in card advantage. This is just a mulligan. They can negate it. It has nothing going for it, and you can only use it going second. Surely this card is awful. How wrong I was. This card is so good. I am so happy about it. This card pairs up really nicely with Board Breakers, of course, and it lets you just sculpt your hand to be perfect. There isn't much else to it. This card is insane. And it warrants the 60, 50 euro price tag, whatever it has, frankly. But it also kind of sucks that we keep getting big boy, um, big boy, what's the word? Big boy staples, staple cards that just cost so freaking much, and I have to splurge on them so bad because I want to push Earthbound to its absolute limits. Thank God this is the only expensive hobby I have. Like, my God, the amount of money I have spent, it's unbelievable. And the unfortunate thing is that instead of this stupid Chud Ojama, I could have bought a pot of stuff. I'm joking, I love my Ojama son. But yeah, it does suck that we're getting so many staples in every single freaking box, and every single freaking time I gotta spend so much money on them. Sure, cardboard is a privilege and whatever, but I really wish that we could just play competitively without splurging this much money. And no, I'm not playing masterduel. Thank you very much. Awesome. Anyways, let's talk about Farah. I haven't actually tested this card, so this is just the pure Fury crafting. But I don't think this card is very good in Earthbound. Like, if you wanna protect your harmonic synchro fusion, which would be the best way to use this card, your opponent can just remove your cards off the board, which isn't too great. This card is much better with ritual spells and fusion spells, which don't require you to actually send stuff for cost, or like have stuff on board most of the time. So yeah, the one thing it does have for it is the free sword souls, but it is a little too many extra deck slots, and you can only summon it if you're going to Ecclesia and whatever, which isn't too big of a deal, but sometimes you really just want to go into the Crimson King. Albeit this is really nice in Chaos, and I really want to play this card. It's so pretty. I don't know, like the utility she has is just really meh in Earthbound itself. It sucks. I want to play the pretty card, and the overframe is freaking gorgeous. I don't know why I've included this entry now that I think about it. It's just me fawning on the card art and saying it is meh unless you're playing one of the Earthbound variants like Chaos Ritual Earthbound without the Earthbound. Nah, this card sucks. Alright, you can summon it off a curtain, but just not good enough of a reason, frankly. Next, Invoked. I just want to briefly mention this. Invoked can do some fancy combos to summon the Crimson King, which does mean you get to search Earthbounds with Invoked, and Invoked can be searched off of Aerial Ether and stuff. The problem is, this engine sucks. It just occupies so many extra deck slots. And Alistair, the new Alistair, is just not an extender. Let me teach you something. And what an extender is something like diabellstar. Those monsters are free summons that help you extend through your combos, because after you get disrupted, you can still continue playing, and that's why they're called extenders. Or rather, that's why I'm calling them extenders. Something like Alistair or like Witness of the Ancients, which requires, say, a synchro monster in your field or grave, or Alistair, which requires like fusion or a spellcaster on the field, that is not an extender, or at least unless you specifically draw the diabellstar alongside Alistair, he's not an extender. Because you would already need to summon Gremlina, which is already mid-combo, which is already way too late for your opponent to have any hand traps outside of exactly Nibiru to actually make Alistair into something that is summonable. He's a ceiling raiser, he's not an extender, and you kinda need to play two of them, because otherwise Iwas doesn't work as an extender. He is an extender, but Alistair himself isn't. And that just kind of kills the engine for me, like playing two Alistairs as two big ass bricks. That's just not worthwhile for me, honestly. Yeah. It's like, man, I just don't think this package is good enough. It has some decent ceiling, but you need what, like 4 to 5 extra slots? You need Chorozo to actually meet your Crimson King line. So yeah, that's my brief mention of this. Next, some other fancy stuff from Chaos Origins. You have Secret Beasts. These are pretty cool. I've tried to use them in an Earthbound variant. You can play a very small package, which is like, what, piss off, Dueling Book. Free Ham, free Phantasm, free release? No. Whatever. Free released and one of each. The rest of the cards, maybe not counting these two. This, no, you have to play this, I think. Maybe some Thunderclaps. This definitely in the sideboard alongside the Uriah as just layer disruptions. Regardless, this package is pretty cool. You can search them a little bit. That sounds so stupid dumb to say. You can search them a little bit. Damn it. Why am I stupid? You can search them with the Crimson Blade Dragon, which you can summon off of either Vision Resonator plus Golem or Sweeper, or you can summon it with Darkness Resonator plus a Gremlina, for example, which is still just as searchable as Vision, you know? It's not too bad, but I don't think this bridge is good enough. You should just play the maximum ratios of the Sacred Beast instead. The levels are kind of awkward for the big guys, but Martyr is more than fine enough, even as a one-off, frankly. You just summon this off of the creator and use them as material. I keep forgetting I have alarms. That's great. You can use Martyr for, say, Formula Synchron or Cupid Pitch, I guess. Cupid Pitch doesn't work too well with Harmonic Synchro Fusion, is the main downside. But then again, you're summoning it with Walker, so you can make it at level 1. And then you can use, I guess, Raviel plus Keeper. That's alrightish. To go into Juraishin and Gremlin and then combo from there. Yeah, that's not too bad. This variant has a lot of potential in Genesys. It's just not good enough for advanced. It is a little too weak going second, I think. But in Genesys, it's really solid. Just a really nice advantage engine, keeps looping your stuff. Not much else to say here. Plus Uriah for Combined Assault is really nice Omni Negate. That's actually it. Astra! I freaking love the concept of this deck. I think it's awesome. I love the card arts. They're cool as hell. The problem is, they're just meh. They're back row focused, which kind of cuts off majority of the synergy with Earthbound, because Earthbound doesn't play too many pieces of back row, and eating up your normal summon of for this isn't too great. It does have synergy with Azamina, like you can set a Symphospore White Forest, which you set off of diabellstar, and then add it back, which typically you wouldn't be able to do. But it is a pretty niche use case. Regardless, I really hope the next wave of support gives this archetype a lot, because you have quick synchros, which is my favorite aspect of the game, frankly. I love synchroning on my opponent's turn. It just churns my brain cells really nicely. And the advantage engine here is also not bad. And also this guy is really cool. He's Book of Moon by eating back row. By eating back row. Yeah. And the one synergy point that I pretend exists is that you can search Yazi. You can summon Yazi and then summon Amritara. This gets you Grief for Shiren, which is decent to summon Gremlina and get you some more advantage, I guess. It's like fine. The problem is summoning Yazi from this position can be a little awkward unless you have the correct materials, which Yeah, I am re-stretching the synergy between Astra and Keeper. Sorry, and Earthbound. Yeah, Keeper is majority of the deck anyways. But like it's a deck I really wanna play because the art is cool, the grind game is cool, the freaking quick synchros are sick, the big boy synchros are sicker, and it's one of my boyfriend's pet decks. So like I wanna play this deck. I don't know. It's fine. I'll wait for Immortal Phoenix to give us one singular good cardboard because like Blitzclick only got one card out of Beyond the Brave. So like yeah, I think we're done for. But like some hope. I think I'll probably just play this deck pure. It's fine. It's whatever. That's about it for Astra, I think. On to Tiamat. This is a level 10 that gets you an non-negate. Notably, it's on a counter trap, which is why I'm actually bringing it up. You can search Maladium Reframing of Avisa's Amritara, which is decent, but the problem is you can't summon it within an Earthbound combo, which can be a little janky, so you might resort to Tiamat. And I think this card has a ton of freaking potential. So like, I think I will be playing plenty of this guy in my sideboard. I don't know why I just said it like that. Yeah, I think it's just really nice as a sideboard card. I guess this card can be used if you have Nibiru, but Nibiru has fallen off so much. I don't think there's ever gonna be a format in Advanced in which Nibiru is gonna be worthwhile, frankly. Oh yeah, and also you have Scourge with the White Force as another option. The problem is this guy, yeah, this is a guy. It's a spell card. This card is like fine. The major problem is just you can't counter Droplet with it, and you can't counter a lot of other fancy stuff, which is why I don't think this is very good for Rusiela. And also this is why I think Tiamat is really nice. You can even summon it off of Rusiela by going Ecclesia for White Albas, for Ecclesia 2, for Crimson King, for Vision, whatever, go from there. And you can summon Tiamat. It's pretty cool. You can even summon it over B2B, I guess, if you're that desperate for a counter trap. Next, this is just cool. This is sick. Dark City and the Heroes. You can search this off of Kraken mainly, unfortunately. That is the main problem. You can only search this easily off of Kraken. You can play Dread Servant as an extender. Destiny Hero. Yeah, Dreadnought Servant. This is like decent as a way to make this guy on brick, this card on brick. But like the unfortunate thing, this is also brick. The reason I'm bringing the Destiny Heroes up are, first of all, Plasma for funny floodgates. I wouldn't recommend this, but it is something you can do. And this card right here, Destro Dogma, is just so cool. I love this card so much. It's just a free quick synchro. Quick free fusion. And it recycles. I forgot to mention this while talking about the Skull Archery, but I love recycling cards so freaking much. You don't understand. I just love having my toolbox again. I love having Gremlina, I love having Griffin again. Just infinite grind game. Even though Earthbound doesn't get into too many grind games due to it being a hyper combo deck at this point, which is very unfortunate, you still have the option, which is just incredibly cool. And so this is why I really wish I could play Destro Dogman. This isn't a review of good cards anymore. This is just, man, I wish I could play this card. We'll get to some good stuff in a little bit though. Destro Dogma can summon Kraken extremely easily. Yep. Oh, no, yeah. You can summon Kraken extremely easily. You can summon Jerkus Tapelia. You can summon anything. And it's very cool. I think you can summon a Destroyer Penis Enforcer. No, you cannot. Okay, never mind. It would be pretty cool if you could. Next is Doriado. This card is so dumb. This stupid ass. You can search it off of Rusiela. I won't go into too much detail, but like, yeah, you can search any monster that is in dark light or something else. It could be a wind like Exhaust Stardust. It could be a water of a Crocodile Dragon. I'm really stretching how useful this card could be. I mean, this card has decent potential, but at the same time, this suffers from, if you set this card up, you've already won syndrome, so meh. It's still worth mentioning for the people who might have thought about it. Hey, you play Rusiela, you might as well play this card. And I just don't think it's good enough. It is cool, you could do some table 500 stupid dumbass stuff with it. Nah, I don't think it's very good. Gallant Thief. This card I'm more so talking about because Lava Golem is the bane of my existence, and this card is the baner. That doesn't sound right. The the boner of my this guy is the bane, the super bane of my existence. Like I don't know what to say. This card is so stupid. At least you can't use it twice. That's something. But yeah, I was actually thinking about maybe if azamina is if I draw a lot of cards and I discard the keeper and then summon Griffin off of my azamina combo, surely this guy is viable because he's so broken. I usually would say, nah, if you eat your normal summon, you've already lost in Earthbound, because like 99% of the time that is actually true. Like you physically cannot play with Earthbound and you can't push through your opponent's stuff if you don't have a normal summon. But this guy is so freaking broken, I genuinely don't think it is that much of a bad idea to even to try to at least test if my hypothesis of what if I just summon Keeper off a Griffin is correct. Like maybe it actually works. I'll eventually test it out. Finally, for the main deck is Ultimate Sky. This is just a generic good trap card. This is a good generic good staple card. Going second, half of Droplet, half of Call By, put together into a really nice quick play. I want to mention this because I love Radiant Typhoon Vision. I love Radiant Typhoon Vision. And this card is really nice alongside the Radiant Typhoon Vision and the Forbidden cards, which is just incredible. This card also just lets you stop your opponent's back row going second, on top of your Forbidden cards, stopping the monsters, which is just so much value. Alongside Pot of Sloth and Vision drawing you so many stupid cards, yeah, I think I'm just gonna have such a fun time playing Breaker Earthbound again. Maybe even with Chaos Ritual in the mix. I just love board breaking with engine and some non-engine. It is very fun. So that's why I want to mention it. I'm excited about this card. That's about it. And lastly, but definitely not least, probably the most important card in the entire freaking Megayap. I should have probably put this earlier on, but like that's just how I structured the video. This is the last two sets that are still yet to be released. Ekajar. This card is broken. Like, beyond broken. This is good going second, good going first. This is good summoned off a B2B in the grind game. This is grind game as well. Like, on synchro summon, banish 2 cards of your opponent. This is really nice off a B2B. You can summon it for free. And this requires only 1 discard rather than Crocodile Dragon. And it kills 2 cards of your opponent. Next, if your opponent summons a card, you can return a card from your grave or their grave to your hand. This is a little more niche, but it can still grab stuff you discarded or even an effect vader to dupe it. This is the more niche effect. I'm not some translations have said it's either graveyard or either field, which would have made it far more broken as just a free disrupt again. Even if you go into another minus, that's already much more value than Crocodile Dragon has already given you. Sure, Crocodile draws you cards, but this card just wins you the game instantly, so it's fine. Like, you don't need cards in hand if you've already won and killed your opponent instantly. And as the cherry on top, if this card is used for back-to-backs, quick synchro, so like, first you quick synchro it, then you use your 2 effects, and then you sync it off again to trigger the Trishula effect, which banishes a card from their hand, field, and grave, whilst getting you a Levilazable on board, which is 1 more disruption. Or I guess a Juraishin, whatever you want to summon off of it, you trigger this, and your opponent is as good as dead. You hand drip them. You can hand drip them again, using Lord Omega. This card is so unbelievable. I actually thought this card was gonna be releasing in Beyond the Brave, and it sucks so much that it's probably gonna come like a maze or whatever next year, and that kind of upsets me. But at the same time, I have more time to spend before Croco Dragon gets thrown out the window. It's been a good 3 years, Croco Dragon, but unfortunately you're getting replaced by this behemoth, which is also a water monster, which is very, very, very thematic for me, I guess. I am so excited about this card. It's so broken. It is unbelievable. Unless like the errata it last second, because oops, we forgot to put the restriction that this card requires 4 water monsters to be summoned or something. But yeah. This card is beyond broken. It's a level 9 synchro, actually worth making, unlike Jade Dragon Mech. Ironic that we started with a level 9 synchro and then we ending with the best level 9 synchro ever freaking printed. I mean, maybe for the era, Trishula would have been the best. But no, this card is the best of all time. Let's be completely real. Man, what a Megayap. I am glad I actually made this earlier than I was supposed to. I will probably be waiting for the next main set to drop, and then check out all the side sets like the deck build pack and such. Maybe I should just do this series once every 6 months to review every 2 main sets, but I don't think that's correct. 1 main set per video is good enough. This time it was just a pure coincidence that I planned out the last one very poorly without accounting for Chaos Origins too much, and thinking some of the cards were just not good, like Sorcerer of the Swamp, like the Sacred Beasts, like Sloth, etc. So marinating my thoughts a little more makes more sense. But I'll see how I should format the video better for next time and whatever. The next video I will do is probably gonna be the pure Earthbound video. Maybe I'll script it, maybe I'll just make it into a half yap, half script with just a bunch of text and whatever. Either way, that's gonna be it for today's video. I had a lot of fun coming back after every 2 weeks I say, I'm glad I came back, I'm glad I came back. Yeah, like, that's all I do. I do videos every 2 weeks. So that's gonna be it. See ya. Peace.